Hello there, everybody. Welcome to Morty's Masterclass on our national parks. I'm excited that you're here today. We're going to do some fun and exciting stuff. Mainly, we're going to look at the history of the national parks, and we're going to do a deep dive into one of my very special places. I love this place, so I hope you guys are ready, because here we go.
From the Grand Canyon to Mount Rushmore to the Blue Ridge Mountains, the National Park Service, it's the government agency responsible for maintaining America's abundance of natural and cultural wonders. By the mid-1800s, American settlers were moving west and discovering new landscapes as they laid claims to lands in Texas, California, New Mexico, and Arizona. Many Americans were enamored with the natural beauty of the Trans-Mississippi West, which was so different from the East Coast and Europe. Some enterprising travelers realized these natural sites would make good spots for tourism and recreation. In 1855, a British man named James Hutchings, along with two Indian guides, visited the Yosemite Valley and began to write articles promoting California's scenic wonders. Almost overnight, Yosemite became a destination. It was so popular that President Abraham Lincoln put it under protection during the Civil War. But Yosemite was not the first national park. In 1872, President Ulysses S. Grant declared Yellowstone the first ever national park. It wasn't until 1890 that John Muir, a Scottish-American naturalist, successfully convinced Congress to protect the Yosemite area. Muir would continue to have a major influence on the creation and preservation of new parks, along with President Theodore Roosevelt. Between 1901 and 1909, President Teddy Roosevelt, who believed that experiencing nature was instrumental in building American character, created 5 new parks, including Yosemite, and claimed over 100 million acres of national forest. He also signed the 1906 Antiquities Act, which gave the President of the United States authority to create national monuments from federal lands. National parks were springing up all over the country. But it wasn't until 1916 that President Woodrow Wilson signed an act to establish a National Park Service run by the federal government. The Organic Act gathered the 14 national parks and 21 national monuments into a federal system. Congress declared the fundamental purpose of the National Park System: to conserve the scenery and the natural and historic objects and the wildlife therein, and to provide for the enjoyment of the same in such manner and by such means as will leave them unimpaired for the enjoyment of future generations. Over the next 2 decades, Congress expanded the National Park System, adding the Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon, Acadia, the Great Smoky Mountains, and Shenandoah to the list of national parks. Throughout the 20th century, the service continued to expand, thanks to some important pieces of legislation. The Historic Sites Act of 1935 allowed the government to give historic properties protected status. The Wilderness Act of 1965 created a policy of securing wilderness areas for the benefit of the American people. In 1990, the Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act required museums, including those in the national parks, to return excavated remains to their cultural descendants. By its 100th anniversary in 2016, the National Park Service employed more than 20,000 people and upwards of 300,000 volunteers, presiding over more than 400 parks, monuments, and other sites. Today, the National Park Service still works with communities across America, preserving nature, local history, and providing the public with places to explore, learn, and reflect.
Across the United States, from towering mountains to ancient forests, vast deserts to deep canyons, our national parks protect some of the most breathtaking places on Earth. These parks are more than just beautiful landscapes, they're living museums of history, culture, and nature. But now we're going to take a deep dive into one of my favorites, which is the Grand Canyon. So I hope you guys will enjoy what you're about to see next. Here we go.
A giant chasm bigger than anything on the North American continent. A place so daunting in scale, no American had yet managed to journey into its depths. A place now known as the Grand Canyon. Today, visitors come to its rim to be thrilled and unnerved. But when early European travelers first stood here, they simply could not comprehend the canyon's enormous scale. While scientists still don't know exactly how the canyon was created, they do know that its story stretches back more than 1.5 billion years, thanks to colorful layers of rock that are now exposed in the canyon's walls. The oldest of these is a black rock known as Vishnu schist. It was created from deposits of volcanic ash, mud, and sand that washed down from ancient mountains. In the hundreds of millions of years that followed, oceans, deserts, and swamps came and went across this part of Arizona, leaving behind more layers of sedimentary rock, so many that they created a giant plateau. Just 250 million years ago, the youngest layer in the canyon's walls was laid down. It's a light-colored stone known as Kaibab limestone. It was only after these deep and colorful rock layers were formed that the Colorado River started carving a giant canyon through the plateau's floor, feeding it with thousands of tributaries that eroded the landscape even more and helped expose the colorful layers below to create this giant chasm, which reaches, in places, 18 miles from rim to rim. It's a process of erosion that continues. A process that's created some of the canyon's greatest landmarks. From towering rock pinnacles near Temple Butte to deep geological scars known as the Hindu Amphitheater, and soaring above, the Tower of Ra.
Welcome to the Grand Canyon, one of the greatest natural wonders on Earth. From sunsets at Mather Point to mule rides down Bright Angel Trail, every view is breathtaking. Whether you hike, raft, or ride, explore the Grand Canyon and its adventure, beauty, and deep connection to nature. I sure hope you enjoy this next segment, and here we go again. Okay, hold on tight. Riding a mule into the Grand Canyon is a classic adventure. Steep trails, views, and memories you'll never forget. Here we go.
All I got to do is sit around. I saddle up my pony, I ride off down the trail to watch the desert sun go down. Cactus plants are blooming, sagebrush everywhere. Granite piles are standing all around. Folks, to me that's heaven, to ride off down the trail when the desert sun goes down.
David Rust, the same fellow who built the cableway across the river, established a hunting camp near the mouth of Bright Angel Creek. Fruit and shade trees were planted, an irrigation system was installed, and simple tent cabins were put up to accommodate early visitors. President Theodore Roosevelt came here in 1913, so naturally they changed the name to Roosevelt Camp. Then, when the Grand Canyon National Park was designated in 1919, the Fred Harvey Company expanded the camp and gave it a new name, Phantom Ranch. Back in the 20s and 30s, Phantom Ranch became a very fashionable retreat. Wealthy Eastern businessmen, authors, actors, society ladies, kings, and potentates from around the world came to the ranch to get away from the rigors of life. Modern cabins were built. They even put in a swimming pool, and business boomed.
Folks, to me that's heaven, to ride off down the trail when the desert sun goes down. Riding down the canyon to watch the sun go down. A picture that no artist there could paint. White-faced cattle a-lowing on the mountainside. I hear a coyote whining for his mate. Cactus plants are blooming, sagebrush everywhere. Granite piles are standing all around. Folks, to me that's heaven, to ride off down the trail when the desert sun goes down.
So now let's meet the trail bosses, the skilled guides who lead mule rides deep into the Grand Canyon. These modern-day wranglers are the heart of the Grand Canyon's most iconic adventure.
Now, whether you call them guides or wranglers or mule skinners or cowboys, the folks who lead the mule trips into the Grand Canyon are a pretty special breed. They know their business from top to bottom and back again. The job's pretty much the same as it's been from the beginning. Equal parts nature guide, camp counselor, social director, and trail boss. They can handle just about anything that comes their way. They know about the canyon, they know about the mules, they know about the dudes, and they know about a million stories.
There was a young man took a bunch in down to Plateau Point, and that was when the burros were still here, and these burros came trotting up to the mules, and one of these mules took off after the burros. In the process, this old gentleman fell off his mule. Well, his right leg hung in the stirrup, and as things began to progress there, the right leg tore off right at the hip. And this young man that was guiding the mule trip that day, needless to say, got very concerned in a hurry. He went running back over thinking that he'd tore this man's leg off at the hip, and come to find out the man had a wooden leg on. He rolled over and looked him in the face and said, don't worry about it. He says, I've got another one at the house.
I'm hanging around over at the barn one day. This old boy comes up to me. Ron's riding a mule out there. I'm watching him. This old boy comes up to me. He's got this big belt buckle on, says Texas on it. I think, oh boy, what do we got here? He comes up and he says, young man, do you work here? And I said, yes, sir, I sure do. He said, I wonder if you could help me come up with an answer to something I've been wondering about. Says, buddy of mine, I'm trying to figure out what the difference is between a Missouri mule and a Tennessee mule. I looked at him and I said, well, that sounded like a pretty easy one to me. I said, I'd say one's from Tennessee and one's from Missouri. He said, oh, bull. I said, you don't know what you're talking about? I said, well, okay, how about asking my boss? He's the man riding this mule. So Ron circles around there a couple times. I said, Ron, this old boy wants to know what the difference between a Tennessee mule and a Missouri mule is. Ron rides around and thinks about it, and he says, I'd say about 600 miles. This guy just walked off.
Okay, so now we're going to look at the culture behind the native peoples that lived in this land for 10,000 years. I hope you enjoy this.
There's a story behind the landscape wherever you go. All you have to do is ask the people that live around there for centuries, basically the Aboriginal people, and get the true story. Each tribe come from a culture of their own. They have their own language, they have their own ways of life, their own ways of philosophy on how to look upon the land. And the interpretation of this place, the Grand Canyon, each one of them has their own story. It's not like the movie Vacation, where the family goes across the country and they jump out of a car, take a quick look, and jump back in the car. Off they go to the next spot. And they get to the Grand Canyon and they look down inside, and then they jump back in the car and they're gone. To really understand and interpret the land, you need to focus and observe and take it in, and then your thoughts, and then whether you call them God, Creator, or whatever, to give you the wisdom to truly understand that this is a blessing. All creation is something that Apache people believe in. They believe that everything is a living entity. The reason why it's a living entity is because the creator of these things is a living entity. And just as the painter puts himself into a painting, the creator, through his creation, gives it life. If you really observe it and take it all in, I think the only way I can say it takes your breath away. And that's what the Grand Canyon is. You come, you drive across the flat, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're there. And then you just look at how big, how long. The colors, all of these things. And you appreciate the immensity of it. And that man is really just a part of it. We're a very minute part of this whole thing. But yet in our own life, we're also creations of wonder too. We begin life because of two cells. And these cells grow and the color of our hair, our eyes, and so you reflect on those things. And that's where you become one. You are now part of the land, because the land is you also. Your perfection.
Hi, I'm Dr. David Kerner. I'm an astronomer and musician, and I'm here at Grand Canyon as the astronomer in residence. Psychologists tell us that awe is a very favorable experience for us to have. And in their examples, they often bring up standing on the edge of the Grand Canyon, sitting underneath a dark sky full of stars, or hearing a great piece of music. I know for myself, as a young child, I very naturally was drawn to those two things, to music and to astronomy. I'm not sure I can tell you why those were the two things that attracted to me, but they both evoked a similar feeling. I don't know if it was this feeling of awe, but it was just a kind of, or a feeling of aesthetic, of beauty. To bring music into the natural environment in my residency, I will be playing piano concerts at the edge of the canyon and at times when the moon is rising and when the moon is setting. In addition, I will also be giving some lectures to help people understand what they're looking at, because the more you know about what you see, the more meaningful it is. I think the reason to protect night skies is kind of like the same reason to have national parks, and I hearken back to Stegner's phrase that was America's best idea, and I'm one of those people who firmly believes that. And I think another best idea would be to protect our night skies, because the box we put ourselves in when we don't see the universe at large or the planet at large is confining and limiting, and we're not going to be who we can be if we don't see the big universe that we belong to.
Okay, so for our next adventure, that's right, we're going to go whitewater rafting down the Grand Canyon. What a trip we have planned for you. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to see some incredible sights. We might even see some wildlife. It's going to be fun. Oh my gosh, that's cold. Somebody throw me a towel. Okay, here we go.
Hi. We hope the information in this video helps to answer some of the questions that you might have about running the Colorado River. As users of this river corridor, we all have a vested interest in preserving this place for future generations. And on behalf of the National Park Service, I'd like to thank you for watching this video.
Ever since humans took their first peek over the edge of the Grand Canyon, it's influenced a tangible respect from anyone who's seen it. No matter what their background or motivation, none could discount the power of its sheer scale, or the extremes in temperature, geology, and beauty that make up its personality. To this day, people come from all over the world just to see it firsthand. There's a certain group of visitors that seek a more intense journey into the core of the canyon, to be part of the dance of water on the Colorado River as it drops almost 2,000 feet on its way to Lake Mead. It's what the Hualapai tribe calls Hayatata, or the backbone, and running its length through Grand Canyon National Park is surely one of the prime outdoor experiences available anywhere in the world. Many of those who run the river have little in common except their passion for these giant waves and the nomadic experience of floating down these corridors of time. Most people on private trips who venture down Grand Canyon are already accomplished whitewater boaters. Even so, the challenges and adventures of the next days will prove to be at times both awe-inspiring and challenging. This section of the Colorado River is one of the top 10 of the world's whitewater runs. It also provides for the rare experience of drifting through one of the 7 natural wonders of the world.
Rafting the Colorado River is one of the best ways to see the Grand Canyon. The full canyon route is the most popular Grand Canyon trip. Full canyon trips all start at Lee's Ferry and take out at one of 3 points: Whitmore Wash by helicopter, Diamond Creek by a bus, or Pierce Ferry by a bus. Transportation to Lee's Ferry will be provided by the outfitter. You will start your adventure in either Las Vegas, Nevada, Flagstaff, Arizona, or Page, Arizona. Usually this is a week-long trip, give or take a day. The non-motorized version of this trip can take up to 2 weeks. There is no required hike on this route, meaning people of any age or skill level can come and enjoy it. You'll get to camp in a variety of beautiful campsites. While at camp, you'll have opportunities to swim, explore nearby attractions, or just kick back and eat some food. You'll get to explore side canyons, swimming holes, and old ruins, some of which are only accessible from the river. The outfitter will provide you with a tent, cot, and sleeping bag, as well as 2 dry bags to use throughout the trip. It's important to plan for the weather. It can rain and be extremely hot on just about any trip. You'll go through 87 exciting rapids, some of which are rated up to Class 10. You'll also learn about the history of the first explorers of the Grand Canyon. You'll discover old rock formations as you wind down the river further back in time. Whether traveling alone or with your whole family, you're bound to make friends on this adventure. If you're taking out at Whitmore Wash, you'll helicopter out to Bar 10 Ranch. From there, you can take transportation back to Vegas or Marble Canyon. If you're continuing on to Diamond Creek or Pierce Ferry, you'll float on until your destination, where ground transportation will take you back.
So you're doing great. This last section, we're going to shoot the rapids on the lower part of the Colorado River. I sure hope you're ready for this. Here it comes. Okay, that's the class for today. I sure hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. So the final thing, there's a quiz that you have to take, and after that, you can take the rest of the day off. I sure hope you had a good time, and I can't wait to see you on the next class. Take care, everybody.